You guys ready?
Yes.
Welcome to the Three Gun Show. We're at SHOT Show 2017 in the Arms Corps booth with John McClain. John, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. I love being here.
Dude, we love having you. Very popular last year was your wow, I almost said that backwards. Your interview last year was very popular. People really enjoyed the technical aspect of it, and it's got legs, man. People just keep downloading it, and I keep hearing people saying like, "Oh, that was great." An entire year ago.
That's actually very surprising to hear, because I mean, again, when you're as a competitor, you're always finding the faults in your own game and your own shooting aspect and your own mindset and stuff like that. And so, I mean, I'm glad I was able to give a lot of people at least enough to be able to chew on and digest and hopefully grow from. So let's see if we can't do it again.
Yeah, exactly. It's been 365 days, so let's see if you learned anything in that time. Well, also joining us.
He's learned or if he's worth.
Could be. It's you never know. Also joining us for the podcast is Eric Grauffel. Eric, welcome.
Thank you.
Eric, I want to give like a little bit of a background to the audience on you, and also get to know you better as well, since this is the first time that we're meeting. John gave me a couple notes from France, which explains the name that I had to ask you how to pronounce. Right. IPSC pistol shooter, right?
Correct.
World champion multiple times over.
Yep. 6 times now. 6
times now. Wow.
Yep.
So you shoot 3-gun too, and we just talked about it before the podcast here, but we're going to talk about it in a little bit, how you got into 3-gun and what that has been like this late in the game. But let's take it back a little bit and talk about you personally. Who are you when you're not shooting? What do you do in like the regular part of your day?
I actually shoot.
Really? You shoot full time?
No, let's say I open a gun store.
Okay.
So we're just running, gunsmithing and selling products for Europe, basically France and the rest of Europe. I get to shoot every day if I want to.
That's great.
So yeah, it's basically my life is all about shooting now, just from the beginning, from the morning till the end of the day, nonstop.
Nice. And do you like that? How does that work?
It's a kid dream. I mean, it's I started to shoot, start to win when I was like 18, 19, and I said, okay, let's try to make a living of it. And from the living, I said, okay, we're gonna be sponsored shooter and do something. But what can you do next? And it's not like doing soccer or baseball or whatever. You're a pro guy, paid full time, and you just play your game. Here, you can be a pro, but you still have to work to make your money out of the day. So and it's just, this is just cool.
Yeah,
the challenge,
fantastic.
The challenge is just amazing, and I work in the shooting industry, but I shoot when I want, what I want. It's great.
That's cool. So do you find that like most of your clientele are competition shooters, or what's the market like where you're at?
A little bit everything. A little bit everything. Most of the guys that they are like target shooters. Then I have a competition shooter that come to us to build up their gun and prepare the gun. So this is what we do, basically, yes.
Okay.
Sport guns.
And so shooting for you started, you said, as like a teenager?
Or even before. I started shooting at 8 years old.
Oh, really? Okay.
And IPSC or practical shooting around 10.
Really?
Yeah. And then by the age of 15, time. At the age of, I'm 37. So let's say I'm one of the oldest one on the market of practical shooter. If I'm not the oldest one, which is true, but in terms of experience, I'm kind of close to, Rob Latham or all the other guys like that have a very long experience.
Okay, so you've got a lot of experience in IPSC pistol.
Correct.
And when did you start shooting 3-gun?
What was that? 3 years ago now.
3 years ago.
2014.
Yeah. Yep.
So John is actually the primary 3-gun shooter in Arms Corps team. Because every one of us sponsored here, we have all of us our own task. I'm more on a pistol and multiple division. We have JJ, we have Athena, and we have John on 3-gun part. And I said, John, listen, I can have guns, long guns, shotgun, rifle in my country. I like just to get started. So would you help me out, tell me what to do and so on? So I came here the first way, 2014.
Yeah.
And the day before, he gave me a shotgun, tried to make some loads, and then he told me, okay, you better start with 2. Even 2 was hard. So, you know.
Yeah, we started off with the dual loads as opposed to trying to do the quad loads. Luckily, it was in that transition phase where the quad load wasn't quite as popular as it is now, but it was definitely, and the dual load was definitely a lot better than the old school grab 4 and do it one at a time. So he actually got really lucky enough that I had the gear to be able for him to do duals. And that was initially how we started training with the shotgun.
Right.
So we did a whole day of I think we shot at least like 250, 300 rounds of shotgun.
I got my finger bleeding. I got everything hurt that day. That was bad. But that was fun. Honestly, it was just fun. Like all about shooting. Again, completely new stuff. And that's how I get started.
Well, that's awesome. So you have long guns in France.
Now, yes.
So it's not always been like that?
No, up to 2013, we couldn't have long guns.
Oh, really?
Well, we could.
Why is that?
But 2 rounds maximum.
Oh, really?
So 2 plus 1. So you do nothing in 3-gun with 2 plus 1,
That would take forever.
That's
not
true. You do a lot of loading.
A lot of loading.
A lot of loading.
and the law has been changing so we can match the European community law for the guns. So we got access at that time for the rifle was bigger capacity. And then shotgun the year after, and IPSC in France, or practical shooting in France, we didn't have really the let's say the games or the sport game rules to run rifle and shotgun. So we brought in IPSC rifle into it, so we can legitimately say that we need to use those rifle against the law, because otherwise they're going to say, why would you need an AR-15 with 30 rounds if you have no reason to have it and just shoot rifle, So we had to bring IPSC rifle, so we get started with that. And then we brought IPSC shotgun, also was that last year actually. And then by the meantime, I get started with John on 3-gun. He hooked me up on that. The only place where I can shoot 3-gun doesn't exist in Europe at all.
Okay.
At all. There's nothing. So there's no way for me to train it because there's nothing. The only thing I can do is I put some clays, I put some poppers and stuff, and I try to practice it, which is fine. But there's no chance for me to shoot any matches and get better.
Right.
So the only thing is I have to come here.
Very expensive way to practice.
Yes, definitely. So that's why SHOT Show is always a good spot, because I get a match before and a match after. So at least it's
great.
something.
So let me ask you about the IPSC rifle, because you said something that I thought was kind of interesting, is that you guys had to bring the IPSC rifle game to France so you could be allowed to have
the law allowed us to have the rifle, but you never know if politicians at a certain point will not say, if we not using our right, they will not take it away.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had to bring that IPSC rifle that will say, hey, we are using, this is the game, we need those guns, so you can't take them away.
So they relaxed that law, and then immediately you guys brought in the rifle game.
Exactly.
And
same thing with the shotgun.
And the shotgun game. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And in the meantime, I was here learning about 3-gun, and I told my people in France, hey, we need to get started. We have the 3 now allowed separately, so let's make a 3-gun thing. Get started. And it will add an extra game that proves that rifle and shotgun are clearly needed for our sport. And because I was there and I was the only one to do it, they say, okay, Eric, you're in charge. Thank you very much. So now I'm in charge of trying to organize a national.
He's in charge of the revolution of France.
2018, I have to make a national organizer.
No kidding.
Yes. And the plan is we are building now the World Shoot Rifle Range. It's almost finished. And that rifle range is going to be huge enough. And my plan is to make like a really nice 3-gun match. We're talking about 20 stages.
Oh, wow. That is quite the
something
match.
serious, so we can bring in the American top shooters over, and probably a lot of European will be interested, because we have a lot of guys that shoot IPSC rifle or shotgun or things. So people have the guns, they don't have the gear, but they will step in. So now we are in the process of building the rules. We gather the U.S. rules between the 3-gun nation rule, 3-gun multi-gun national rules, USPSA rules. And I don't remember which one, so you got three here. And we are mixing them to come up with a very nice set of rules that will match the, let's say, European political aspect of shooting.
Okay.
And basically we're going to go on a time plus system or I believe 2 divisions. which you have open and tac ops. We are thinking about calling them like limited and unlimited.
Okay.
Something like this, so it's more, tactical thing for the sport politician
ops.
is that it doesn't look like really nice for us.
Right.
So we're gonna go limited, unlimited. So that makes our life simple.
Interesting. So that sounds like quite the undertaking.
Yes. And challenging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so how do you start? I mean, that's like an elephant that you have to eat, right? You start one bite at a time.
Step by step.
Exactly.
I got friends.
Oh, okay. So how do you start that process then of setting that up? And there's like a bunch of political hoops you have to go through?
First, you have to convince your own political people in the federation. That's the thing.
In IPSC.
Yeah, because
there's
the
kind of
French
like
Federation the French Federation of Shooting is about 200,000 members right now.
Wow.
Okay, but it covers the Olympic style shooting.
Oh, okay.
Skeet shooting, so ball trap skeet stuff. It covers the long rifle shooting, silhouette shooting, and practical shooting as well.
Okay.
The federation is made of 70 politicians inside the federation that will choose the president. The president, we know him, and the actual president we have is a former practical shooter.
Sweet.
But
that's always good.
But when you bring to practical shooting, it's always on the reserve because practical, it's different. People are always scared a little bit because it's moving, because there's always that tactical aspect to it. So
we've done. I've experienced that same thing myself in multiple ranges that I've shot at. You get the classic thing is the clay shooter, right? Yeah. The trap shooter, the skeet shooter. They're always like, well, why are you running with those guns? That's dangerous, and that whole thing. And
so think about, you have that experience here in America. Think about what it is in the whole Europe.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and we've got it written into our constitution that we can have arms. Yeah. So I would imagine it's way more difficult for
It's
you.
a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. And basically in France we can hold only 12 guns. So when you shoot 3-gun, it already goes quick, because if you shoot practical pistol, you need 2 or 3 guns, plus you need your rifle and shotgun, plus the backup one, plus the training one, and it's a mess.
Interesting. So the AR-15 platform has to help out with that, right? Because you can have multiple different upper receiver / barrel combinations.
Yep. Correct. That's mostly what we use down there.
Right. So AR-15, is it the same thing that we would buy here in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we do import the American guns.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's okay. We can do that. We have some manufacturers over in Europe. There's one pretty well known in Italy. There's another one made in Czech. Then there's a bunch of guys importing U.S. AR-15 down to Europe.
Interesting. So. Okay. So 2018, there's going to be
That's the plan. We hope to do, yes.
That's amazing. That seems like really quick, dude. You better get going.
Well,
what are you doing here, man?
That's true. Well, we have the team.
He's getting his 3-gun fixed while he's here.
We're finishing we finished the wall shoot thing, and that range we are building in France now is going to hold about 50 bays for practical shooter.
So the world shoot, is that a rifle world shoot that's happening?
Pistol. The one we do in France, it will be pistol.
Okay.
But that place can have like 50 bays about. We have 1 600. There will be like 5 of them. 3 of them 300 and 5 of them 200.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch, like 20 of them, will be like 100 by 50.
Mm-hmm. And
the rest will be like 50s by 20 or something.
Wow.
So good enough to make a nice
definitely.
Supposed to be a huge range. I
think one of the... You're like building a range for a shoot.
For a
that's
shoot.
not what we do in the U.S.
I think one of the 200-yard ranges is also going to be a
indoor.
covered one.
It's an indoor one. It's already existing, actually.
Okay.
It's a whole military base, actually.
Okay.
That the Federation get all of it, and they are building not only for APSEC or practical shooter, they're building that range for multi-type of shooting, and that place gonna hold a lot of matches all year long. And so basically that range gonna be open every damn weekend for competition.
That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So this summer I got to shoot 3-gun with a Finnish shotgun competitor, Kim Leppänen.
Yeah, Kim.
You know Kim?
Oh yeah.
So Kim was telling me that in IPSC World rifle shooting, that it's still all paper, even though it's out to a couple 100 yards, and they go out and score them. Is that the way that you plan to run your match, or are you going to run it more American style where...
Well, if you do a 3-gun, it's going to be more American style because we need the time to reset and everything, and we need to process the shooters. So we're going to do more basically outside 100 yard, 150, we're going to put the steel targets, flashers.
Okay.
definitely. There's no other way.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was just like confused. And I was like, God, what does reset take? He's like, oh yeah, it's forever.
Well, then you take the quads and everything, but you can have just small quad and squads, people, and it takes too much time.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna use steel, for sure.
So what was it then? Once you got to the U.S., shot your first 3-gun match, bloodied up your thumb, and learned how to load the shotgun. What was it that made you think like, oh, maybe I can do this in France?
The funny thing is that when he bloodied up his thumb and stuff, that was the weekend before SHOT Show, and that was just us training. Then we had SHOT Show to deal with, so we had media day, then we had the 4 days of the convention,
right?
And then that weekend was his official christening of a match, where the only thing he had was his pistol. He had my shotgun and he had my rifle, with my zeroing and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
His first it was really baptism by fire, because it was just like what's your zero at? I don't know. Hold it up there. I put it up on the card and then sent it. So we'll try like that, kind of thing. So
it didn't work out well.
No, for either of us apparently.
Especially because I was first and I told him that doesn't work, and then he's tried to and it didn't work as well. So that was good.
So the first one was very rough for him because he didn't have any of his gear except for his pistol.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot someone else's rifle and someone else's reticle.
I can do it when I win the 3-Gun Nation Pro match with Jesse Tishar's rifle, but apparently.
You're like a whole nother level. I mean, for
exactly.
the rest of us.
So he did that. Then the next year, so last year when he came in, he had his own gear. So now he's and it was funny too because after he got his shotgun in, he would send me videos on Facebook of him practicing dual loading and then eventually practicing quad loading, and then I would just give him some points and tips of what things that I saw to notice. And so throughout the year I was getting to watch him progress from this guy that had never shot a shotgun in any sort of competitive situation to him now quad loading and throwing 8 shells in his gun within 5 seconds, just by practicing dry fire. He was sending me these videos, so it was really cool to be able to be that kind of coach for Eric, because this is a guy that I've looked up to for a long time in my shooting career as a pistol shooter. So, and the first time I ever got to shoot with him was during the SHOT Show event when we did the filmings for the Team Arms Corps and all that kind of stuff. And I remember just standing there the entire time being like, what the hell am I doing here? I do not, there's, one of these things does not belong here and it's me. So.
Were you thinking the same thing, Eric?
No, of course not. It's just shooting. I just let him talk, but it's so funny to see.
Yeah, again, that was from my standpoint. And like I said, every shooter knows their own fault. But so, he's someone that anytime I ever have questions about pistols or when he's watching me as a pistol shooter, he can give me so much good advice and training and instruction. So it was cool to be able to be that for him when he wanted to get into 3-gun. It was I was able to help him with learning the shotgun loading and all that kind of stuff. And now we're to the point now where even though he doesn't get to shoot a lot of 3-gun per se, it's obviously on his mind a lot. So he thinks about it a lot. We talk about it a lot. And then when he comes in town, we get to shoot together. And it's awesome being able to be team members that now can break everything down together. Before it was just kind of more so hey, how are you shooting it? And then now we can actually have debates about what's the best way to shoot
tactics and everything. And actually, we
have that same mindset of and the skill set that we know what each other's capable of. I mean, we even did it this weekend. We shot a little 3-gun match, and I came up with this little shotgun array that we had. I had come up with the medium way to do it. There was a very fast way to do it. There was the slow way, but the very conservative way. Mm-hmm. And then there was the medium way. And I decided I was just going to go with the medium way and do it. And we were discussing whether or not the fast way would be worth it. So after we both shot it the medium way, we came back and tried to do it the fast way. And I'd already warned him beforehand. I'm like, dude, don't try it during the match. Let's do it afterwards. So he did the medium way. And then afterwards, he tried the fast way. And after he got done, he was like, nope, that didn't work. glad I didn't do that during the match, So it's been cool that just over 3 years to watch him grow into the 3-gun competitor, regardless of how much training he gets to do in his home range. I mean, he was just here in October for the Surefire World Multi-Gun match, where I believe I took 5th and he took 6th.
Wow.
So
that's fantastic.
Went from no 3-gun at all, 2.5 years later, 2.5 years, comes and shoots a Surefire against Nils Jonason, Keith Garcia, and all those guys, and takes 5th overall. So
wow, that's amazing.
It's been cool to watch.
And
him
I
grow.
even won this night stage, which I never shot. I shot my first night stage with a torch.
Yep.
That day of the match.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I had no idea what it would look like.
And he
No idea. He told me, you press the button, you go and aim. And I said, what the hell, what I'm going to see? I have no clue.
Right. Yeah, it's always weird. You can't see your sights. That always freaks me out.
Well, I understood that I saw a black mark, and then I see the light through it. And I said, okay, that should be it. And I pulled the trigger, and then it was fine. But, I didn't know what to expect. I had we can't shoot at night in France. Simple. Yeah. Period. So, all right, you're here at the Surefire match. They told me, okay, bring your torch. I bring nothing. Once again, I had to gather his equipment. So put them there on my gun, put this on that, and do this, do that. It's like new stuff. Okay, I have to come, get the gun, fucking press the button, get my grip, load the gun. Shit, what the hell, what I'm going to see? That was a kind of a challenge that night.
Yeah, so, but, I took it as a great pride for me because Eric pretty much asked me, like, hey, if I were to come back for a match, which match should I be? And there's 2 matches that I suggest him to do if he wants to shoot with me for sure. And that's either the USPSA multi-gun match that Pete Rensing puts on or the Surefire World multi-gun match that Pete Rensing puts on. I informed him if he wanted to experience all of the 3-gun styles that Surefire was the way to go. Mm-hmm. And so he took a big chance in getting, not only because it wasn't just him. You understand, he's married with kids, with in-laws, he actually had to convince
everyone
the family
to
come as a
Take
family
holidays
trip.
in Vegas so I can shoot.
So while he's shooting the match, they're off doing family things, and he's, up in the desert
I had to
with
rent
me.
a nice house with a nice pool in an area where they can go, here and tour around there and tour around there. I had to rent 2 cars so everybody can be happy.
Oh, wow.
It's a nightmare just to shoot 1 match.
So
it's a lot of efforts.
I was very blessed that he took I was very blessed that he took my advice and to come to shoot the Surefire match.
Yeah.
And he took the extra steps to bring the family and stuff like that, which was actually a lot of fun because while we were shooting, I actually had my daughter, so I dropped the daughter off over there, and she got to play with his kids, which was kind of comical to watch to begin with because his kids don't speak English and my kid doesn't speak French.
Oh, no kidding.
But after the first 5 minutes, they were just off and to the races.
The kids, they watch each other, but just by, the sign talk or just the eyes talk, they just get along. That's it.
They were just playing the rest of the day, So that was kind of cool. So while we were off shooting and training and stuff like that, they were able to play and hang out.
That's pretty cool. So it's a with 3-gun, a lot of the topics we cover, and I think pretty sure, John, that we've talked about this before because you shoot a lot of pistol. Mm-hmm. We've talked about how
much more than you used to.
Yeah, exactly. And we just talked about that before we got going here too. But we've discussed how the pistol game translates to all the other guns, and if you need to practice, if you can only practice one, it would be pistol. So, Eric, do you feel like all the training and the practice that you had in shooting pistol over the years has helped you acquire rifle skills and shotgun skills faster, or do you think it just gave you like a basis of now I know how I need to practice to learn these new guns?
I would say it helped, yes, until a certain point.
Okay.
Until, let's say, the 100-yard and plus distance you have to shoot with rifle. Because that thing, if you don't shoot it, you will never know about it. I mean, everything which is below 100 yards, you can be shot. That can be shot like a pistol with your rifle. So this is pretty much pistol skills involved here. Now, longer distance, you need to get the knowledge and you need to get experience on it by yourself, by learning, by shooting it, by seeing what it goes. Shotgun, same thing. Shotgun is I get to use the rifle first, so I get to use a little bit of the long gun. So I had to know already about the length of the gun, about holding the gun. But shotgun, the only issue is all about the shocks. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what your gun does, what shocks you can use, it's a nightmare. So this is whole experience you had to go. So I spent a couple of days like trying shocks at different distance to see what it looks like, just to memorize what it does, what you want to use. 3-gun helps a lot because you can use from diffuser to basically IC, you're pretty much good. But people that are shooting just shotgun matches and they have like no-shoot targets, like a clay no-shoot next to a steel target. So then you have to know, I'm going to use the fulls, extra full, or like modified, and that's, different story.
Yeah, I mean, you're going with like an entire set of chokes in a match like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of our 3-gunners that went to the Italy World Shoot, the IPSC World Shoot, and they said the exact same thing. In fact, a couple people told me they didn't even use anything but a full choke the entire time because of all the no-shoots and stuff like that. Where here in the U.S., it's like the only thing in front of it's a barrel, and if you shoot that, no one's going to say anything.
Exactly, so you don't get penalized for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's a much different game. So the Surefire World Help me out, John.
Surefire World Multigun. Or the Surefire. I'm listening to
Yeah,
you and
you
getting
are.
screwed up. The Surefire World Championship.
There we go. Surefire World Championship. So in your defense, I screwed that up like 4 times earlier. But it's like John said, it's probably one of those matches that would give you like a flavor of each type of 3-gun to shoot. So Pete was on the show, and he told me all about it, sort of the style and everything. It sounds like a phenomenal match to bring that sort of flavor from each one of the major matches that we shoot in 3-gun into one, which is such a great idea. And the different skill sets are all tested. Which style, Eric, do you feel that you identify with most of all those different styles in the Surefire match?
You mean for me?
Yeah, which was the easiest for you? And then I'm going to ask you which
everything
was the most
about
difficult.
pistol.
Everything but pistol?
Yeah, so that means we had a bunch of stages. They were pretty short and technical. This is what I usually do about, moving target and stuff, taking it to position, placing yourself right, which I know how to do. Make sure you don't overpass target and you won't miss it or stop. This is good. I can win, and I did pretty well on those stages. But it came up when we got to the long range when, my gun was not zeroed perfectly. And this is not exactly the same bullets that I'm using home. So let's say I take my ballistic setup based on what I use and what I load at home, and then I transferred here, and I didn't check the bullet weight. I didn't check the velocity. So I get to shoot the 400 and 500 yards. Go on one stage, miss, and nobody's calling where I am, so I have to figure it out. Right. That was a nightmare. That stage killed me. Yeah. And cost me a lot, actually. And then that girl who was watching and spotting the hits, she told me, all right, you were about this distance off the targets, which helped me for the second long-range stage. Right. And I survived okay. But if I didn't know, that would have been a second screw-up because my gun was not ready. So now what I'm doing, and we'll do it tomorrow for me when we shoot a video tomorrow at the range for Hamscore, when we're done, I'm going to go off on the range, 200 yards, and I built just one gun for 3-gun now in the rifle. Because when I come over here, they keep the same batch of bullets they made for me, and that gun will only shoot that setup of ammo. So I know my gun will be set and ready, and I don't have to think about it, because otherwise it's...
Yeah, no kidding.
Long range, if you zero your gun with one ammo, you come over here, you shoot another one, the chances that your gun is properly zeroed is...
Yeah, at that point, you're just kind of like guessing and hoping.
Yeah, which didn't work. What I did last time from Surefire, I took a batch of ammo here, I brought back to France, and I pre-zeroed my gun coming here with the same ammo that I'm shooting, and it worked this weekend. We clearly see. I was not sure. I told John, hey, maybe I should check. I zeroed my gun, and actually it worked. We came up with a 200-yard shooting and 3 plates. I got hit on every first shot.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
So that means that worked this way.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do, and make sure I have some bullets at home. I can check my zero from there, and then when I fly here, the bullets are ready, and that's the same.
Nice. That sounds very complicated.
It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. Well, and so what is traveling internationally like into and out of France with ammunition, with guns? Is it difficult?
Should I tell you the story which happened here just now when I'm coming in, or the regular story that what I should do normally to do that thing? I felt like a VIP. All right. This time here, first you had to, for me to come to the US with the guns, I need to get an ATF Form 6, so it's a permit that you get from the ATF Bureau, and it's valid for a year. So you can put all the guns you want and the ammunition you want to bring in and on it, and that you're clear legally on a custom point of view. So you still have to show your gun when you come in, but you need to get that permit. It's the official thing that if you get stopped by the police, and you can show that's your guns. This time I flew in, and I flew into Atlanta on the way in. And the plane stopped at the gate opened, and then everybody stand up in the plane, ready to leave. And you got that gate agent, Mr. Grauffel, please show up yourself at the gate agent when you exit the plane. You say, what the hell is that? Because usually nobody calls me. I just go there and declare the gun and done. Gate agent there. You have guns, sir? Yes, I have got guns. All right, just go. Don't forget to declare your guns. All right, sure, of course. No problem.
Thanks for the reminder.
All right. Process, go to the immigration. Now you got this automatic thing, which is fantastic. Go to the automatic. Get to the guy at the booth, and where are you coming to the U.S.? I'll come to shoot a 3-gun match. Oh, you got guns. Oh, please come with me. And then from that point, that guy took me from that immigration point till the end completely covered. So he took me to the immigration booth. We stamped the thing. So we passed everybody in the line like a VIP, you know, like, okay, cool. We go to the luggage area, pick up the luggage. This guy from Homeland Security carry up my bags. I said, I'm going to do it. No, I'll do it. I'll help you out. Okay, cool. All right. We take, okay, this is your rifle? Yes, that's my rifle. Let's go to the custom area. So we go to the custom area. Open it. Oh, this is cool guns. Yeah. All right. Get stamped it. All right, let's close it. All right. Okay, I'm going to help you go. So we pass all the custom and everything. Goes there to the recheck-in. He was there at the checking. Okay, the guns are clear. Go. 35 minutes. Top notch. From the moment I left the plane till the moment I reached check-in. Immigration custom process done. 35 minutes.
I can't even get my bag that fast.
I never did that before. 35 minutes. I said, fucking hell, I got 3 hours connection. What's going on now? What I'm going to do? Let me do another turn. Let me do another round.
So why did that happen?
It looks like, you know, with what happened maybe in Fort Lauderdale a couple of weeks before, I don't know if that has made something but honestly, I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody carries my bag usually, and now it's a Homeland Security guy that carries my bag. I said, what the hell? It's fantastic.
You know what stood out the most to me is that as an American citizen, I pay so much effing taxes, and I can't get a bureaucrat to do anything, and they're carrying the foreign guy's luggage for him, for God's sake.
That was cool. Hey.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, man.
That's amazing. So...
No,
I'm just blown away.
But basically, no. Coming with the guns here in the U.S. is pretty simple. I mean,
is
the process.
Is it difficult to go back home?
No, not really. No, not really. Because then, you know, if you're here, the only thing is to get the ATF done properly. But now I get to know the person where I send the documents to. So just send a nice email and I get my permit within 2 days.
Wow.
Regularly for normal people, it's about 6 weeks to 8 weeks. I got mine in 2 days. So.
Jeez,
that's cool.
VIP, no kidding.
Well, then again, I'm sure at the start of it, though, he's got plenty of headaches to begin with.
But I made it for 20 years. So,
yeah,
you know, you get the same thing every year about the same period of time. You get to know the same people, but that's it. So, you know. And if you come often to the States, I come about 3 times to the U.S. a year. So, I mean, my passport is just stamped all over the place, all around. So, they just don't give any hassle anymore.
Interesting. So, what is, by the way, when you say hassle, it sounds like asshole.
Yeah, sorry, but you know my accent, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just pointing out. But so when you,
that's gonna be the greatest cover ever.
What the fuck?
Why do you have to be such a hassle? What did you say? I called you an asshole.
This actually happened once in a hotel room. A couple of years back in Tulsa. The guy
sounds like there's a good story here.
And I called him an asshole. He didn't like it too much. Anyway, that's
all right. Now you got to explain.
No, it's just the whole story.
All right.
Poor guy that bring me a package and then.
So the process of getting firearms in France, what is that like? How do you how would you as a citizen purchase firearms?
That's a nightmare.
Is it?
Yeah. Basically, you need to be a club member, a member of the federation, for at least 6 months. Past 6 months, you can have you be trained by the range and blah 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 blah. And past 6 months, you can request a pre-document or pre-form from the federation to request then a permit to the police. So then your club president signed for it, and the state president of the sport federation signs for it, and the president of the federation will sign for it. And if it's approved, you can go with that document to the police and then request your gun. That document from the federation takes about 48 hours to get when you get started. Then for your first gun, you go to the police station, you make a request, you bring all your documents with you, your passport copy and where you live and blah, 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 blah. You request a permit, and then it will take about 2 months before you can get your approved permit on the first time, because they run a background check on you, see if you're completely clear, no drug, no records on your files. And after that, you get your permit, and then you have 3 months to buy your gun.
So do you have to tell the police what gun you're going to buy, or
some of them they like, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
So you have to, but you have to ask, you have to request a permit for which category of a permit you want. If it's for a pistol, rifle, or shotgun, if it's a B class, which is like bigger caliber, like 9mm, 223, whatever, or if it's a C class, which is like 22s or other calibers and stuff like that. So
Okay.
then you have the 3 months, and then you can buy, and that's it. Then the gun will be registered. You need to have a safe in the meantime at your house, mandatory. You're not allowed to go from your house to a supermarket and then to the shooting range. The only allowance is house, range, house. That's it.
So you guys never have like a hamburger and a beer after a match?
We do, but if there's an issue, it's your fault.
Oh, I got you.
So, and if you get robbed, if you lose your gun, if you whatever, then you might lose all your gun for all your life.
Wow.
So that's an in-between.
So a criminal breaking the law turns you into a criminal because you
went into
you didn't follow the law, which was to go straight home, straight to the range, straight home, straight to the range, because you stopped in the middle. And someone breaks the law and steals your gun, that turns you into a criminal.
Yeah,
instead of a victim.
So you have to store your gun in the safe all the time. It's a nightmare. And then you renew your license every 5 years. It used to be 3 years, now it's 5 years.
Okay. So then
12 guns maximum.
12 guns maximum.
Because the 13th one is the dangerous one.
There's a lot of guys walking around the floor out here that would not be able to live in that type of environment.
Right.
So
and now we got the new law that they're talking about on the European side, which will be 10 rounds maximum for every gun, unless you shoot practical shooting.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool.
Could be a boon for practical shooters.
Exactly, exactly. Which what happened to us in France, actually. That's what we did. The French law is actually allowing 20 rounds maximum in a pistol and 30 rounds in a rifle, unless you shoot practical shooting and you're an active practical shooter. And that's written in the law in this way.
Oh, wow.
So it makes it cool, and we get more and more practical shooters coming in because, I mean, if they want a rifle and if they want more guns, more magazines, you have to be a practical shooter.
Right. Interesting. So the that sounds terrible, by the way. Of
well, I
compared
to
what we're used to, of course.
Yeah, sure.
I think though in one aspect though, if anything, it might have helped him out as being the shooter that he is. I mean, because I know exactly from our standpoint. I mean, we can throw our guns in our car. We can go stop, get food on the way to the range. We can go to the range, we can shoot, and then we can leave and get a milkshake on the way back for home and then go home. But for him, it's because it's such a hassle for him to actually go to the range, it makes more sense that, if we go for an hour and, I'll come back tomorrow. But when he goes, it's such an event that he's not just going to go there and go through all that hassle just to get there for 1 hour and then come back. Like he's going to make a day of it. He's going to set time aside to actually train and do everything. So, I mean, from my aspect, it's like, because when I train here, I mean, again, I don't have to go through the hassle he does. But when I do train, I train for typically about after I shoot a match, I'll shoot for another 2 or 3 hours after the match, just training. So, I mean, for him, I figure if I had to contact my police department just to let them know, like, by the way, I'm going to be driving to the range. I got guns with me, and this is where I'm going, and this is where I'm coming from. And then, like, hell yeah, I'd schedule my whole day to be at the range so I didn't have to do it,
Pain. So, Eric, when you practice now, you've got a certain level of proficiency. When you practice now, do you still concentrate on pistol? Do you
pretty much, yeah.
How much time do you make for the other two guns?
Shotgun 0 and rifle 10%.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Now, is that going to change with your pending 2018 match?
Hopefully, yes, but I'm not that sure because most of the ranges are not really set up so we can do shotgun and rifle.
Okay.
This is still new. A lot of ranges, like even our, my dad is actually the president. He doesn't want me to shoot 223. So basically, I have to shoot 22s, which I can do. I have an upper 22 that helps a lot, but still I can. And the longest distance I have is 50 yards.
Oh.
Done.
Yeah.
So what about 200, 300? I don't practice it. The practice at the match.
Yeah. So I guess just plug it into a ballistics calculator and hope it's correct. Exactly.
You got it.
So he just pointed to his phone for those that aren't here in the
because
business.
Because it's audio. So why no 223? What's the objection?
Just more noise. It just also breaks a lot. It breaks a lot. We don't have sand berms. We have like dirt bird. So we got rocks and stuff. It doesn't want ricochet. It's this like that. Same thing. It doesn't want me to shoot shotgun too much because I got all the plastic things out there on the berm, and then he doesn't want me to shoot the clays even if it's biodegradable. He said it's going to be dirty and stuff. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my dad, so he's not even helping.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez. What's Father's Day like around your house?
Well, he's a good dad. He's trying to do his best, but I understand it's also there. You know, there's other club members at the range, so I cannot do. And we have only one bay, basically.
Oh, really?
So I have to share.
So, are there multiple range options where you're at, or is it just that one?
Yeah.
that
Next option is 2 hours away.
2 hours away.
Yeah. So
wow.
Forget about it.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez. All right. So the message is everyone in the U.S. should be grateful for what we have.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and do not allow them to try and take another inch.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You give them an inch, they're going to want a mile. So.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys have a match coming up in a couple days here. You're going to be shooting yet another Pete Rensing match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shot Show.
Pete does a match after Shot Show. It's kind of a good way. For those that are ready to get the hell out of here, they just leave. I mean, there's no stopping them. But for those that are brave enough to brave it for another 2 days, it's actually, for me, it's a good way to decompress, because it's like, okay, I've spent the last 5 days, I've spent the last 4 days walking around all these guns, and now I get to actually shoot some of my own, granted, but still, it's just that it's that last little way for me to stretch my legs after being cramped in the convention center for 4 days straight. So, and then, it's another match, or it's another reason for Eric to bring his guns and play some 3-gun with me. So, although this one, we're shooting the pistol match on Saturday.
Yep.
So that'll be me, Eric, and JJ are all squatted together for that. I think we're also, Nils Jonas is also going to be on our squad. So, I mean, Christ, it's half the super squad right there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then Sunday is our 3-gun match that we'll be shooting. So.
Nice.
And then I think Eric is also planning on coming back in April for the USPSA multi-gun match.
Oh, okay.
So he was so hooked on the Surefire match, he decided to come back for USPSA multi-gun, and I'm excited to have him come out, and we're going to be squatted again. We're actually going to be squatted with the AMU boys, so we'll be shooting against Daniel and Joel and T-Pain and all those guys. So
I'll try to come a couple of days early so I can train a little bit.
Yep. That's
not to really look like too much stupid though.
So Eric, when you're planning for your 2018 match, do you like bring like a notebook to these matches and like, oh, I like this array, I like how this was set up, and do you have that sort of thing in your head, or are you designing?
We'll build it from scratch. I've seen what Pete Rensing is doing, so I'll try to compete with him a little bit on designing stages. We did. Hold on, maybe see. We made a test match. We made a test 2 stages after Shotgun Nationals of 3-gun. Let me see if I got the video. I can show you over here. You'll see it's pretty nice.
Oh, if you want, we can post links to that on the show.
We'll
so
definitely
that
do that. We'll
can
put
see them and stuff.
links in the show notes and stuff.
Let me see.
Well, guys, I appreciate your time in chatting about this. This is like a completely interesting topic to me, because the international world of shooting is something I'm always fascinated with, and the audience loves to hear about too. And it's like we said, John, it's like a good reminder of why we need to give no inches and provide no sort of relent.
Yeah, getting the opportunity to talk with Eric and train with Eric and spend as much time as I have with him is very eye-opening for me, because again, like I said, we take for granted just the simple fact that we can just grab our gun, throw it in the car, and go to the range.
Yeah.
And it's not at all that kind of case for him. So I mean,
just press play.
It's been a lot of fun talking with him, getting to learn it, and at the same time, it's also been a little upsetting seeing that it's happened out there in the world, which means that it's very possible it can happen again right here. History tends to repeat itself, and for those that, like I said, that aren't going to be proactive about it and just would rather sit back and let the government take control of things, and that's kind of a very, very live reminder for me of why it's important to help promote the firearms sports, help promote the firearms industry, help promote gun safety, and just in general to help grow the industry and the sport, and get rid of this
people into it, so we can have
and get rid of this initial the fear of firearms. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's an inanimate object. What you need to fear is the people that are doing evil things with them, but they're going to do it regardless. Last time I checked, criminals don't follow laws. That's why they're criminals.
Yeah, well, and we've seen it on the international stage as well, like people driving friggin' trucks into crowds.
Exactly.
There's always a way to inflict harm.
Exactly.
So. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, let's end on a happier note, guys. You got a match coming up. There's plenty of guns to look at here at SHOT Show, and we're going to go check those out. Thank you, Eric, for sharing your story. I totally appreciate it, and excited to see what you've got going in 2018. Sounds like it's going to be a ton of fun. So
it will. I hope so. I hope so, and I hope you guys, because European will come, but if some of the U.S. guys want to come, they will be completely free to come, and we'll be happy to have them and host them there and show us what we have to do, where we have to improve, because that's what we need. Get the sport going. That's
Absolutely.
what we want.
That's exciting. So when you do have details, keep in touch with me. Let me know, and I'll help you spread the word and everything. And
Sounds
happy to do so amongst the American shooters. And John, hey, thanks, man, for bringing up this exciting topic and putting this together. Always appreciate you, my friend.
No problem. Obviously I didn't give away much technical data here. It's more of the personal aspect of it, but I felt like this would be a good opportunity again for people to see what's going on across the pond in the international side, and I hope it was again more eye-opening and uplifting for some of these people to understand. Like, hey, get involved, get out there, get involved. Don't just be don't just be reactive. Let's start getting proactive about this situation. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you very
Thanks
much
a lot
for having us.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.